Zara had always been a curious soul, and today was no different. She stood in a busy hallway on her home planet, a world filled with colorful plants, tall, glowing buildings, and other aliens of all shapes and sizes. But her focus wasn't on her surroundings. It was on the new visitor, a human named Alex. She'd heard stories about humans before. Friends from other planets whispered that humans were strange but impressive creatures. They had skills no other species had mastered. But Zara wasn't sure if these stories were true. Could humans really be so special? And more importantly, could Alex show her these amazing skills everyone talked about? Zara was a bit nervous as she watched Alex from afar. He looked so different. Unlike most aliens with their bright colors and unusual shapes, Alex looked simple. He was tall, with short brown hair, wearing plain clothes, and had a friendly smile. There was something in his eyes that made Zara feel he was safe to approach. Gathering her courage, she decided to introduce herself. She walked up to him, her purple skin glowing a bit as she tried to appear confident. "Hello, are you the human named Alex?" she asked, her voice soft, but filled with curiosity. Alex turned and smiled at her. "Yes, I'm Alex," he replied warmly. "And you are?" "I'm Zara. I've heard so much about humans, about the skills you all have. Is it true that humans are very talented?" she asked, her eyes wide with wonder. Alex chuckled, finding her curiosity charming. "Well, I'd like to think we're good at some things. What kind of skills are you interested in?" Zara felt a little embarrassed, but didn't want to waste the chance. "Oh, all sorts of things. I've heard that humans can fix anything, survive in tough places, and even think in ways other species can't. I just want to know, are you really that skilled?" Alex thought for a moment, then grinned. "How about this? Why don't I show you a few things, and you can decide for yourself?" Her eyes lit up. "Really? You would do that?" "Of course," he said. "Where should we start?" They moved to a quieter corner, where Zara handed him her small device, a translator that helped her understand other languages. The device had been acting strange for weeks, and Zara wondered if Alex could fix it. She watched him closely as he examined it, tapping buttons and looking at its settings. After a few minutes, Alex smiled and handed the device back to her. "I think it should work better now," he said. Zara tried it, and to her delight, the translator worked perfectly. "You fixed it. How did you do that?" Alex shrugged, his face humble. "It was a simple problem. I just adjusted a few things. Humans are used to fixing small problems like this. We're good at finding solutions." Zara felt her excitement grow. "This is amazing. And this is just one of your skills." "Just one," Alex replied, smiling. "We have a few others." Eager to see more, Zara took Alex to a training room nearby, where they could try some physical challenges. She wanted to see how strong or fast he was, though she didn't expect him to be impressive compared to other species. But Alex surprised her again. He balanced on a narrow beam with ease, showing Zara how humans could focus and keep steady. Then he climbed a tall structure, using his arms and legs in ways that Zara had never seen before. Even some of the other aliens watched, nodding in respect. When he returned to the ground, Zara couldn't stop herself from clapping. "Humans really are talented. You're so balanced and strong. How do you do it?" Alex laughed, a bit shy from her praise. "We learn a lot from our world. Humans have to be flexible and ready for different challenges. It helps us develop all sorts of skills." Zara's admiration grew even more. Alex was not only skilled, but he was also kind and willing to share his knowledge. She realized there was so much she wanted to learn from him, and perhaps even try herself. As they walked back down the hallway, Zara couldn't help but ask, Do you think you could teach me some of these skills? Even just a few?" Alex looked at her with a kind smile. "I'd be happy to, Zara. We can start whenever you like." Zara felt her heart soar with excitement. She had come looking for answers, and now she'd found a teacher and maybe even a friend. There was no telling what she might learn, but she was ready for this new adventure with Alex. Small tests. Zara couldn't wait to see more of Alex's skills. Ever since he fixed her translator device, she had been full of questions and excitement. She wanted to understand what made humans so unique, and Alex seemed happy to show her, which only made her curiosity grow. The next day, Zara met Alex in a quiet room filled with small objects and gadgets. She had set up a few tests to see how well he could handle different tasks. She was nervous but also eager to see if humans were truly as skilled as the stories claimed. "Alex," she said, her purple skin glowing with excitement, "I've set up a few challenges for you. Do you mind trying them?" Alex smiled warmly. "I'd be glad to. Let's see what you've got for me." The first test was a puzzle. A small cube with different colored pieces that needed to be arranged to make each side a single color. Zara had tried it herself but couldn't solve it. She handed the cube to Alex, watching his every move closely. Alex took the puzzle, examined it for a few seconds, and then started moving the pieces. His hands moved quickly and smoothly, and Zara noticed how focused he was. Within a minute, the cube was solved. Each side was a solid color. Zara's eyes widened in surprise. "How did you do that so fast?" Alex shrugged with a smile. "Humans love puzzles like these. We have many different kinds of puzzles on our planet, and we like solving them as a challenge. It's something we practice often." Zara clapped her hands, genuinely impressed. "I thought it would take you at least a few minutes. Humans really are clever." Alex chuckled. "Thank you. What's next?" Zara led him to the next test. She had a small metal object with several parts that could move and connect in different ways. Her challenge was simple. She wanted Alex to put the parts together to make a specific shape. She showed him the shape on a screen, a small cube, and handed him the pieces. Alex picked up the parts and examined them, thinking carefully. Zara held her breath, watching as he started to connect each piece. His hands moved with confidence, and soon he had assembled the shape perfectly. "There you go," he said, handing her the small cube he had created. Zara's jaw dropped. "You did it again. That's amazing." Alex laughed, looking a little shy from her praise. "Humans have a good sense of shapes and patterns. We use our hands a lot, so we get good at working with small parts." Zara's admiration for Alex only grew. She had expected him to struggle with at least one of the challenges, but he seemed to handle each one with ease. She wondered if there was anything he couldn't do. "All right, one last test," she said, leading him to a small alien gadget that looked like a complicated remote control. It had many buttons, each labeled in a language unfamiliar to Alex. "This device controls a tiny robot," Zara explained, "but it's hard to figure out which buttons do what. I want you to try and move the robot using this control." Alex studied the gadget, pressing one button at a time and watching the robot's movements. After a few tries, he figured out which buttons made it go forward, backward, and turn left or right. Within a few minutes, he was moving the robot smoothly across the floor. "Got it," Alex said proudly. Zara couldn't believe it. "You figured that out so quickly. I've had this robot for weeks and still don't know how to make it work properly." Alex smiled. "Humans are used to learning new things by testing and observing. We like to try different things and see what happens. It helps us understand how things work." Zara nodded, amazed by his patience and focus. She realized that humans had a unique way of problem solving, using trial and error, and learning as they went along. She was beginning to see why people admired humans so much. "Alex, you really are skilled," she said sincerely. "I'm so glad I asked you to help me with these tests." Alex looked at her warmly. "I'm happy to help, Zara. And I think you're skilled too. You're curious and eager to learn. That's a skill in itself." Zara felt her cheeks warm, a rare feeling for her. She was proud to be called skilled by Alex. His words gave her confidence, and she wanted to learn even more. "Maybe one day, I'll be able to solve puzzles as fast as you," she said with a smile. Alex nodded. "I believe you will. Humans learn these skills over time, and you can too. All it takes is practice." As they wrapped up the tests, Zara felt a sense of excitement she hadn't felt before. Alex had shown her that humans were indeed unique, not just because of their skills, but because of their willingness to try, learn, and adapt. She looked forward to spending more time with him, hoping to learn as much as she could. With a friendly wave, Alex said goodbye, leaving Zara with a heart full of admiration and a mind full of questions. She knew that this was just the beginning of a wonderful friendship and perhaps a great adventure. Physical skills. Zara couldn't stop thinking about Alex's skills. So far, he had impressed her with his quick thinking and clever problem-solving. But today, she was eager to see how well humans handled physical challenges. Zara wanted to know if Alex's body was as capable as his mind. She led him to the training area on her home planet, a place where aliens of all kinds came to test their physical abilities. The room was huge, filled with strange equipment, climbing walls, and obstacle courses that Zara and her people used for training. She glanced at Alex, wondering if he was up for the challenge. "Alex," she said with a smile, "today, I want to see your physical skills. Are you ready?" Alex grinned, nodding confidently. "I'll do my best. What do you want me to try first?" Zara thought for a moment, and then pointed to a narrow beam suspended a few feet above the ground. The goal was to walk across it without losing balance. Many aliens used this test to improve their stability, and it wasn't easy. Even Zara had trouble with it sometimes. "Try walking across that beam," she said, watching him closely. Alex studied the beam for a moment, then stepped up onto it. He took a deep breath, focused, and started walking carefully. His steps were steady, and he moved with surprising balance. Zara watched, amazed, as he crossed the beam without any trouble. When he reached the other side, he turned and smiled at her. "How was that?" he asked, stepping down. Zara clapped, impressed. "You did that so well. It usually takes us a lot of practice to balance like that." Alex chuckled. "Humans work a lot on balance. We do activities like this to stay fit and improve our coordination." Curious to see more, Zora pointed to the climbing wall next. The wall was tall, covered with handholds and footholds. She knew that climbing required strength and focus, and she wondered how well Alex could handle it. "Now try climbing this wall," she said, smiling with excitement. Alex took a deep breath, looking up at the challenge in front of him. Without hesitation, he began to climb. Zara watched as he reached for each hold, pulling himself up with ease. His movements were smooth, and he didn't seem to struggle. Zara was amazed at how naturally he climbed, moving up the wall as if he'd done it 100 times before. When he reached the top, Alex waved down at her with a big smile. Then, carefully, he climbed back down and joined her on the ground. "You made that look so easy," Zara exclaimed, truly impressed. "How did you get so good at this?" Alex shrugged modestly. "Climbing is something many humans practice. We have lots of activities and sports that involve climbing, running, and balancing. It keeps us strong and helps us stay active." Zara nodded, feeling more and more respect for her new friend. She decided to give him a final challenge, one that required not just strength, but also speed. She led him to the obstacle course, a path filled with barriers to jump over, narrow spaces to crawl through, and ropes to swing across. "Let's see how fast you can complete this obstacle course," she said, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Alex looked at the course, nodding as he mentally prepared himself. When Zora gave him the signal, he took off, moving quickly yet carefully. He jumped over barriers, crawled under nets, and swum across ropes with surprising agility. Zara could hardly believe her eyes. He moved through each part of the course without hesitation, his movements smooth and precise. When he finally reached the end, Alex was slightly out of breath but still smiling. Zara couldn't help but clap, genuinely impressed by his performance. Alex, that was incredible, she said, her admiration clear in her voice. You didn't just complete the course. You did it quickly and with perfect control. Alex laughed, catching his breath. Thank you, Zara. Humans like to stay active and challenge themselves physically. We believe that keeping our bodies strong is as important as keeping our minds sharp. Zara's respect for Alex only grew. She realized that humans had a unique combination of strength, balance, and focus that made them capable of handling so many different challenges. She admired how he could stay calm and confident, even in difficult situations. As they walked back to the main area, Zara looked at him with a smile. I'm learning so much about humans from you, Alex. You're really showing me how special your people are. Alex smiled warmly, pleased by her words. And I'm happy to show you, Zara. I think you could do all of these things too, with a bit of practice. Zara laughed, feeling a little shy but inspired. Maybe you could teach me sometime. I'd love to try. Alex nodded. I'd be glad to. Humans learn through practice, and I believe anyone can improve if they keep trying. With that, Zara felt a new sense of excitement. Not only had she witnessed Alex's impressive physical skills, but she was now eager to try some of these challenges herself. She had found a friend in Alex, someone who encouraged her to grow and explore her limits. As they left the training area, Zara knew that this was just the beginning of her journey with Alex. She was ready to learn, to practice, and to discover her own strengths alongside him. Human ideas. Zara had seen Alex's clever mind at work and had witnessed his surprising physical abilities. But today, she was curious about something else. Human ideas. She had heard that humans could solve problems in unique ways and come up with ideas that no other species could imagine. She wanted to see this for herself. They met in a quiet room filled with strange gadgets, puzzles, and some alien tools. Zara looked around and then turned to Alex with an eager smile. Alex, she said, her eyes full of excitement, I've heard that humans think in very creative ways. They solve problems and create new ideas that are different from other species. I want to see this side of you today. Alex smiled, looking a bit amused. All right, Zara. I'll show you some ways humans think. But I need your help too. Let's solve a problem together. Zara's curiosity grew. What problem will we solve? Alex looked around the room and pointed to a large round stone in the corner. It was heavy, and its purpose was unclear. Let's say we need to move that stone to the other side of the room, he said. But we can't lift it because it's too heavy. How would you move it? Zara thought hard, trying to come up with a solution. Well, I could call a strong friend to help, or maybe use a machine to lift it, she suggested. Alex nodded. Those are good ideas. But what if we don't have a strong friend or a lifting machine? Let's think of another way. He walked over to a shelf and grabbed a few small, flat pieces of metal. Then he placed them in a line from the stone to the other side of the room, creating a sort of path. Finally, he pushed the stone onto the metal pieces and, with just a little effort, rolled it along the path he'd made. Zara watched in awe. You made it move without lifting it. How did you come up with that idea? Alex chuckled. Humans use simple tools to make things easier. We call this idea leverage. By placing something under a heavy object, we can make it move without using much strength. It's a trick humans use all the time. Zara was amazed. She hadn't thought of such a simple solution. That's incredible, Alex. Humans really do think differently. Alex smiled, happy to share. Let's try another one. This time, let's create something fun. He took a small piece of cloth and a few sticks, placing them in front of Zara. Let's make a tiny glider, he said, his eyes sparkling with excitement. A glider? Zara asked, looking puzzled. Yes, it's a small flying object. It doesn't have any engines, but it can glide through the air if we throw it correctly, he explained. He began folding the cloth and attaching it to the sticks to create a simple wing-like structure. Zara watched him work, fascinated. When he was finished, Alex held up the glider proudly. "This may not be the best one, but let's test it out." He gently tossed the glider into the air, and to Zara's surprise, it floated across the room, gliding smoothly before landing. Zara clapped her hands, thoroughly impressed. "Humans are amazing," she said with a huge smile. "You made that with just cloth and sticks." Alex nodded. "Humans are always looking for ways to create, build, and explore. We imagine how things could work and then try to make them. It's part of how we think." Zara's admiration for Alex grew even more. She realized the human ideas weren't just about solving problems. They were also about creating things that didn't exist before. "Let's try one more," she said eagerly, feeling inspired. Alex looked around and spotted a puzzle that needed to be solved by matching different pieces together to form a picture. He handed it to Zara and said, "This is a game humans use to improve their thinking. Try putting the pieces together to complete the picture." Zara picked up the pieces and started arranging them. It was challenging, but Alex guided her, giving her small hints. As she worked, she noticed how each piece had a place, and how they all connected to make something beautiful. Finally, she completed the puzzle, and the picture was clear. A beautiful alien landscape with mountains and stars. Zara looked at it proudly. "Humans use games like this to train their minds?" she asked. "Yes," Alex replied. "It helps us practice patience, creativity, and problem solving. Humans enjoy challenging themselves with ideas and puzzles. It keeps our minds sharp." Zara was filled with admiration. "Alex, you've shown me so much. Human ideas are truly unique. I can see why your people are respected across the galaxy." Alex smiled, touched by her words. "Thank you, Zara. And I think you're great at learning. You figured out each challenge quickly and came up with good ideas of your own." Zara felt her heart warm with pride. She realized that learning from Alex wasn't just about seeing new things. It was about discovering new ways to think. She looked forward to trying these ideas on her own and testing her own creativity. As they finished their session, Zara knew that her understanding of humans had deepened. She had witnessed Alex's unique mind in action and felt grateful for the lessons he had shared. This friendship was giving her a new perspective, and she couldn't wait to see what else she would learn in the future. Facing danger. One day, while Zara and Alex were exploring the outer parts of Zara's home planet, something unexpected happened. They had been enjoying a peaceful day, walking through the dense, green forest and talking about the differences between their cultures. Zara loved these moments with Alex, where she learned so much about humans and their unique ways. But suddenly, the ground began to shake, and they heard a loud, growling sound echoing through the trees. Zara froze, her eyes wide with fear. She recognized that sound. It was from a wild creature known as the Gorlick, a massive beast known for its strength and aggression. Very few aliens dared to face it, as the Gorlick was fast, powerful, and territorial. Alex noticed Zara's fear and placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "Zara, what's wrong?" he asked, his voice calm but concerned. It's a Gorlick," she stammered, looking around nervously. "They're very dangerous. We need to get out of here now." Just as she said that, the massive creature stepped into view, its huge, muscular body covered in dark scales. It had sharp claws and glowing red eyes that stared directly at them. The Gorlick let out a low growl, moving slowly towards them, ready to attack. "Run, Alex," Zara whispered, grabbing his arm and pulling him back. But Alex didn't move. Instead, he looked at the Gorlick, his mind working quickly. He could see that the creature was about to charge, and he knew that running might only make things worse. He had faced wild animals back on Earth before and knew that sometimes running would only trigger a chase. "Zara, listen to me," he said quietly, keeping his eyes on the Gorlick. "We need to stay calm. If we run, it might chase us." Zara was terrified, but she trusted Alex. She took a deep breath and nodded, staying by his side. Alex slowly raised his arms, trying to make himself look bigger, a trick he had learned from his time in the wilderness on Earth. He stood tall, staring directly at the Gorlick, trying to show that he wasn't afraid. The Gorlick paused, confused by Alex's strange stance. It tilted its head, studying him, as if trying to understand this unusual creature that dared to stand its ground. "Stay behind me, Zara," Alex whispered, keeping his voice steady. Zara, still scared, did as he said, standing just behind him. She watched in awe as Alex remained calm, his gaze locked on the Gorlick. His bravery amazed her. She had never seen anyone face a creature like this without fear. The Gorlick took a step closer, growling again. Alex noticed a small branch lying on the ground nearby. Slowly, he reached down and picked it up, keeping his movements slow and careful. He waved the branch in front of him, hoping to make himself look even bigger and stranger to the Gorlick. "Go on, big guy," Alex said firmly, his voice low. "We're not here to hurt you. Just leave us alone." The Gorlick seemed confused by Alex's calm approach. It took one more step forward, then sniffed the air, as if deciding whether or not to attack. Alex stood perfectly still, not backing down, his eyes steady and fearless. After what felt like forever, the Gorlick finally made a low growling noise, then turned and lumbered back into the forest. Alex let out a slow breath, relaxing only when he was sure the creature was gone. Zara's heart was still pounding, but she felt a wave of relief wash over her. She looked at Alex, her eyes filled with admiration and gratitude. "Alex, how did you do that?" she asked, her voice full of wonder. Alex smiled, a little shyly. "Humans learn how to handle wild animals by staying calm and using our instincts. Sometimes showing fear can make things worse, so we try to stand our ground and act brave." Zara shook her head in amazement. "I've never seen anyone face a Gorlick without running. You saved us." "Alex," he shrugged, "I just did what I thought was best, and I couldn't let it hurt you, Zara." Zara's respect for Alex grew even deeper. She realized that humans had more than just clever ideas and physical skills. They also had courage. She admired how Alex had stayed calm in the face of danger, using his wits instead of his strength to protect them both. "Thank you, Alex," Zara said sincerely. "I don't think I could have stayed that calm on my own." Alex smiled, placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "You were brave too, Zara. You trusted me and didn't run. That takes courage as well." Zara felt a warm feeling in her heart. She realized that her friendship with Alex was teaching her not just about humans, but about herself as well. Together, they were stronger than she had ever imagined. As they walked back to safety, Zara looked at Alex with new admiration. She knew that her life had changed since meeting him, and she was grateful for every lesson he shared. Facing danger together had brought them closer, and Zara felt a deep sense of friendship and trust. In that moment, Zara knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, she could face them with Alex by her side. Learning together. After the encounter with the Gorlick, Zara and Alex felt a new bond forming between them. They had faced danger together, and now they were more determined than ever to learn from one another. With each passing day, their friendship grew stronger, and they were eager to explore the unique aspects of their cultures. One sunny morning, Zara suggested they spend the day teaching each other something special. "Let's share our skills," she proposed, her eyes shining with excitement. "I want to show you something about my culture, and then you can teach me something about humans." Alex nodded enthusiastically. "That sounds great. What do you want to show me first?" Zara thought for a moment, then smiled brightly. "How about we start with something from my people? I can teach you how to create traditional art using natural materials from our planet." "Art? I'd love that," Alex replied, genuinely excited. He had always admired art, and the idea of creating something with Zara made it even better. Zara led Alex to a nearby clearing where wildflowers bloomed in bright colors. Here we can gather some materials, she said, picking colorful petals and leaves. We use these to make beautiful designs. Alex watched as she carefully selected each petal and leaf. What do we do with these? He asked. Zara smiled and began to arrange the materials on the ground. Creating patterns, we make designs that tell stories or express our feelings. Each color has a meaning. For example, blue is for calmness, while red represents passion. Alex nodded, impressed. That's wonderful. How do you know what to create? Zara laughed gently. Sometimes I just follow my feelings. Other times I think about the stories I want to tell. Do you have something like this in your culture? Alex thought for a moment, then replied, yes, we have art too. But we often use paint, clay, and even digital tools. We create pictures, sculptures, and music to express ourselves. Can you show me? Zara asked eagerly. Of course. Alex said, his excitement growing. Let's use some of these materials to make something together. He picked up some petals and started to arrange them alongside Zara. Together, they created a colorful design, blending elements from both their cultures. As they worked, Zara felt a sense of happiness. Sharing her art made her proud, and she loved seeing Alex's creativity flow. They laughed and chatted, enjoying the process of learning together. After they finished their design, Zara stepped back to admire their work. It's beautiful. I never thought I would enjoy making art with someone else. Alex smiled. I feel the same way. Creating together is so much fun. Now it's your turn to see something human. Zara looked at him curiously. What will you show me? Alex led her to an open area where they could see the sky. I want to teach you about human games. We often play games to bond and have fun, and one of my favorites is called Frisbee. Zara tilted her head, intrigued. Frisbee, what is that? It's a flying disc that we throw back and forth. The goal is to catch it without letting it hit the ground. Alex explained, grinning. It's a simple game, but it's a lot of fun. He pulled out a Frisbee from his bag and handed it to Zara. Here, you try throwing it first. Zara examined the Frisbee, turning it over in her hands. Okay, but I've never done this before, she said, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. Just hold it like this, Alex demonstrated, showing her how to grip the Frisbee. Then, throw it with a flick of your wrist. Zara took a deep breath, focusing on his instructions. She threw the Frisbee, but it wobbled and landed far from where Alex stood. She laughed, a little embarrassed. I think I need more practice. Alex chuckled and encouraged her. It's okay. Let's try again. Just remember to follow through with your arm. With Alex's guidance, Zara practiced throwing the Frisbee again and again. Each time, she improved a little more. Soon, she was throwing it farther and straighter, and Alex clapped with excitement. You're getting really good at this. He cheered, his eyes shining with pride. Zara beamed, feeling a sense of accomplishment. Thanks, Alex. This is so much fun. I love learning new games. They spent the afternoon playing Frisbee, laughing and enjoying each other's company. Zara felt the joy of the game, and she loved sharing this experience with Alex. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the clearing, they sat down on the grass, both feeling happy and fulfilled. Zara looked at Alex, grateful for the day they had shared. Thank you for teaching me about your art and your game, she said sincerely. I've learned so much today. Alex smiled back, his expression warm. And thank you for sharing your culture with me, Zara. It's been a wonderful day. They sat together, watching the sunset, feeling grateful for their friendship. Learning together had brought them closer, and Zara knew that every day with Alex was an opportunity for new adventures. As they prepared to head back, Zara realized that their bond was growing stronger with each lesson, each laugh, and each moment spent together. She felt a sense of excitement about what they would learn next, knowing that their journey was just beginning. Special honor. Zara and Alex had spent many happy days together, learning and sharing their cultures. Their friendship had blossomed, and each adventure brought them closer. But one day, something unexpected happened that would honor both of them in a very special way. Zara woke up early that morning, feeling excited. Today was the Day of Unity, an important celebration on her planet. It was a time when different cultures came together to honor their differences and celebrate their friendships. This year, Zara had been chosen to represent her people in the festival, and she wanted Alex to be part of it too. As she prepared, she picked out her best traditional outfit. It was a beautiful dress made of colorful fabrics, adorned with patterns that told stories of her culture. She couldn't wait to show it to Alex. When she arrived at their meeting spot, Alex was already waiting for her, his eyes bright with curiosity. "Wow, Zara, you look amazing," he exclaimed, admiring her colorful dress. Zara blushed at his compliment. "Thank you, Alex. I'm so excited for today. I want you to join me in the festivities." Alex smiled, a little confused. "But I'm not from your planet. Can I really participate?" "Of course. The Day of Unity is about everyone coming together. It would mean a lot to me if you were by my side," Zara said earnestly. "All right then. Let's do it," Alex replied, feeling honored to be included. Together, they set off toward the center of the village, where the celebrations were already in full swing. As they walked, Zara explained the significance of the festival. "People from all over the planet come here to celebrate our cultures. There will be food, music, and dances from many different species. It's a beautiful way to show that we can all be friends." When they reached the center, Alex was amazed by the sight. Colorful banners hung from the trees, and stalls filled with delicious food lined the streets. Music filled the air, and people danced joyfully, laughing and enjoying each other's company. Zara led Alex through the crowd, introducing him to her friends and family. They welcomed him with open arms, and he felt a warm sense of belonging. "This is incredible, Zara. Your people are so friendly," he said, smiling brightly. As the festivities continued, Zara and Alex watched the different performances. Dancers twirled gracefully, and musicians played beautiful melodies. Alex was captivated by the talent and passion of the performers. He realized that each act was a celebration of the unique cultures that made up Zara's world. After some time, the festival leader called for attention, raising his hands to quiet the crowd. "Welcome, everyone, to the Day of Unity. Today, we honor our differences and celebrate our friendships. This year, we have a special guest who has shown great courage and kindness, our dear friend Alex." The crowd erupted in cheers and applause. Alex looked surprised and touched. He had not expected this recognition. Zara stood beside him, her eyes sparkling with pride. The leader continued, "Alex has faced challenges with bravery and has embraced our culture with an open heart. To honor him, we present this special medal of friendship." A group of villagers approached, holding a beautiful medal that shimmered in the sunlight. It was crafted from local materials and featured intricate designs that symbolized unity among their peoples. As they placed the medal around Alex's neck, he felt a wave of emotion wash over him. "Thank you, everyone. I'm truly honored," he said, his voice full of gratitude. "I've learned so much from Zara and all of you. This friendship means everything to me." The crowd cheered even louder, and Zara's heart swelled with happiness. She was proud of Alex and the bond they shared. It felt wonderful to see him recognized in such a special way. After the ceremony, Zara took Alex's hand. "You deserve this, Alex. You have shown everyone what it means to be a true friend. I'm so happy for you." "Thank you, Zara. But I couldn't have done this without you," Alex replied, looking into her eyes. "You taught me about your culture, and you welcomed me like family. This is our honor, not just mine." Zara smiled warmly, feeling a deep connection with him. "Yes, it is. Together, we are stronger." As the day continued, they joined in the celebrations, dancing and laughing alongside Zara's people. Alex tried traditional foods, some sweet and some spicy, and he loved every bite. They played games, listened to stories, and celebrated their friendship in every way possible. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with vibrant colors, Zara and Alex found a quiet spot away from the crowd. They sat together, watching the sunset and reflecting on the day. "Today was amazing," Zara said softly. "I'm so glad you were here to share it with me." Alex nodded, feeling grateful. "I'll never forget this day. It's a special honor, and I'm so thankful for your friendship." Zara leaned closer, her heart full of joy. "Together, we can face anything. We'll always celebrate our cultures and our bond." As they watched the sun disappear behind the horizon, they knew that their friendship would continue to grow, no matter the challenges they faced. This special day was just the beginning of many more adventures to come.